presents the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get boiling, and drivers, start your engine!
On the weekend, fast as I can, and I'm mine at the finish line. You can lead me there, 'cause I'm always on the run. When we don't go home till the job gets done, till the job gets done.
One city, our city, my city. That's the slogan for Jacksonville, North Carolina, where we sit tonight with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, Coastal Plains Raceway for race number 8 on the season. Tonight, it's the Cardinal 99 for the Smart Modifieds. Hurry up mode right now for the Smart Modified Tour. Beautiful day here in this region of the country. We're on the east coast of North Carolina. Let's get right to the starting lineup for this one as they are lined up and getting ready to get going here tonight at this 4/10 of a mile. On the pole, the gray goes 0-2 for Joey Coulter, looking for his 3rd series victory. And on the outside, the young gun, just 16 years old, Slate Myers, the rookie, in the Bryson Brothers Area Solutions, number 4. Second row on the inside, Danny Bone, the most recent winner on the Smart Modified Tour. He will start 3rd in that number 25 to his outside. Quickest in practice, quickest in qualifying, the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award winner for the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, in the number 2. Third row, inside, 16 for S&S Racing. It's Jonathan Cash, top 10 in points coming into this one. And on the outside, the defending series champion in the team car to Jonathan Cash, it's the kid Luke Baldwin in the 7 VA. 7th will be one of the veterans, Johnny K in the number 48. And to his outside, 3rd in points coming into this one, the number 73 for Paulie Hartwig III. Starting 9th, good qualifying effort for this independent runner in the Carolina Drilling number 21. It's Jimmy Wallace. To his outside, making his first start with the Smart Tour in the 45 NY, it's Max Hanley, a winner in crate modifieds over the past couple of seasons. Starting 11th, former Garden State Classic winner at Wall Stadium, the 33 of Karsten DeJohn Tomaso. And to his outside, 5th place in points right now, the 79 for Hillbilly Motorsports, it's Joey Braun, another rookie. Another rookie in lucky number 13 starting spot. In the 17, a new ride for Bryce Bailey in the PSR House Car. Outside of row number 7 in the number 99, starting 14th, it will be Jake Crum and that Mount Airy Toyota machine. Behind him, another rookie, Jack Baldwin. The 3rd generation racer will line up 15th in the 7 NY. Starting 16th in the number 1, a big surprise with a very difficult qualifying effort, 3-time series champion in the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners number 1, Burt Myers. In the final row, Daniel Yates, top 10 in points. The 18 will start 17th tonight. And rounding out the field in the number 15, Jeremy Gerstner, back with Shady Grady Racing, reunited like it was 2018 all over again. And that is your starting lineup for the Cardinal 99 here tonight. Beautiful day. We have a double header for the Smart Beach Trip. Today here at Coastal Plains Raceway, and tomorrow, 40 minutes down the road, just off the Atlantic Ocean, sits Carteret County Speedway. We hope to see you there tomorrow. I am Bob Dillner, the voice of the Smart Modified Tour. Alongside of me, Will Battershell. Are you ready for 99 electrifying laps here? What are we going to see tonight?
it's going to be a lot of tire saving. And so it's going to be interesting in this first 50 laps or so to see who can save that tire the best, because whoever can save it the best will be set up perfectly for that last run to the finish.
And I think what's critical tonight, you mentioned that tire wear, that is on everybody's mind, and it's because of the abrasive surface. Anytime we're near here, let me tell you something, it chews up the tires. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to get out of your seats, stand up as the Smart Stars salute you, the finest fans in America, because this is our salute to chrome wheels, to the chrome horn, and 600 horsepower. This is the Smart Modified Tour at Coastal Plains Raceway. You could feel that rumble. 18 times 600 horsepower. I'm not a mathematician, was never good in math in high school or college, but that's a lot of horsepower that we're going to see here tonight on the eastern seaboard of North Carolina. We're about 40 minutes off the shore. Emerald Isle, beautiful Crystal Coast here, and this is a tradition now for the Smart Modified Tour. Started last year, but last year was interesting because this race was rained out on a Friday night, and then the series ran 2 races in one day on a Saturday at 2 different racetracks between this track and Carteret.
Yeah, and having this race be able to be raced on Friday gives the teams a little bit more time to set up their car for Carteret, because, I mean, from here to Carteret, it's 2 completely different racetracks. So it's going to be nice for everybody just not have to be rushed and basically settle in tonight.
Carteret tomorrow night, flat racetrack, basically. Tonight, 12 degrees of banking, that D-shaped racetrack. They don't stop turning on the front stretch here. Joey Coulter, awesome qualifying effort for the veteran driver, former NASCAR Truck Series winner, on the point, leading the field to the green flag. The state bird in North Carolina is the Cardinal. Tonight, it's the Cardinal 99 for the Smart Mods. By the grace of God and 600 horsepower, we are green. Joey Coulter grabs that top spot. Battle is for second. Slate Myers, the teenager, on the outside of the veteran in the 25, Danny Bone. Slate Myers garners the second spot. Everybody getting in line until you get to about that 5th place battle, where a pair of team cars are duking it out for 5th. On the inside is the number 16 of Jonathan Cash. To the outside, Luke Baldwin. Both of them Pace-O-Matic machines, and Baldwin trying to get the edge for that spot early on. Baldwin hanging tough, and that's what's good about this racetrack. There are many crews, but it depends on what stage of the race they are in, whether or not they will be able to use those groups. Out front, it's Joey Coulter. Second place is Slate Myers. Myers trying to pour some heat, but still, as we watch the battle for the lead, we still look at about 5th on back. And 2 rows of side-by-side racing. There you have the Pace-O-Matic machines, team cars battling for 5th. Jonathan Cash in the 16 on the inside. Luke Baldwin now files behind him. Behind that, Johnny K with Karsten D. John Tommaso running strong on the outside, but that 33 moving through the field from 11th, almost into the top 5, but you can punish your tires in a hurry here at Coastal Plains.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. I mean, running the top, he's saving it a little more than if he was on the bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised within like the next 20 or so laps that we see him start slipping backwards with how hard he's pushing so early.
We hope you're enjoying the coverage tonight here on Flow Racing. After this race, you'll be able to tune in to the big ZMAX Cars Tour event being held tonight in Florence, South Carolina. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that race down there. Late model stock cars actually down there at that racetrack. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be running there tonight. .745, they will go green, hoping to get this race complete. Right now, it's been good, clean and green so far. Early in this race, approaching the 10-lap mark.
Yeah, now we're starting to see the field single file out more and just kind of run at their pace and just take care of that tire. But we do see Joey Braun go around and try to fight for those positions back farther in the pack.
Battle for ninth right now with Joey Braun, as you mentioned, talented young kid out of Long Island, New York, running the Hillbilly Racing number 79. He's making that outside groove work. I think Baldwin in the 7VA is saving his tires right now. Braun makes his way by. He slips into the 7th spot right now. So Joey Braun, who just won his first Tour Type Modified show Wednesday night at Riverhead Raceway, looking good early moving through the field.
Yeah, you mentioned Luke Baldwin. It looks like he's really saving those tires with how much of a gap has formed now between Cash and Braun.
Luke Baldwin back in 8th. Behind him is Johnny K, but here comes Paulie Hartwig. That kid, a teenager, barely a winner on the Smart Modified Tour. The 73 of Hartwig out of New Jersey moves into that 8th spot.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it. Luke Baldwin is like all conservative as he can be right now. He's just letting everybody go around him on the outside, which I won't be surprised if later in the race this pays off for him.
You got to wonder what the strategy is here, because the big thing is all of these teams within 99 laps have the opportunity to take on one tire. When will they make that change? Will they make that change? Karsten D. John Tommaso going after second, and he gets it, the 33, up to the second place spot, and now starting to hunt down leader Joey Coulter in the Rum Runner Racing 02. D. John Tommaso started in 11th. The kid is quick, works down south, but has often run up in Wall Stadium in Belmar, New Jersey. Has not had a victory in some appearances this year, but he has won himself a handful of races at that tough third of a mile high-banked oval up in the New Jersey Speedster area. The top 5, Coulter, DeJohn Tommaso. 3rd is Slate Myers. 4th, Bone. 5th, Ryan Newman. 6th, Jonathan Cash. DeJohn Tommaso going after the lead. Joey Coulter's just going to give it to him. Said, go ahead, kid, punish your tires. DeJohn Tommaso leads for the first time in Smart Modified Tour competition right here at Coastal Plains Raceway. By the way, 2 Baldwins in this race. We've talked about Luke running at the tail end of the top 10. Actually, Luke Baldwin has slipped back a little bit right now. I believe Luke Baldwin is outside of the top 10. He slipped several spots. And Jack Baldwin, by the way, also I believe he's the last car on the racetrack right now, playing the conservation game as well. But as we see right now, Karsten D. John Tommaso now on the same straightaway as Jack Baldwin. You can play those saving games, but you can't go a lap down. At some point, he's going to have to stand on the gas. But I believe for Jack Baldwin, who is the last car on the racetrack, said, you know what? I'm not going to punish the tires. I'm going to play that conservation game. We'll see if it pays off for him.
And the good thing for Jack, we'll be closing into that stage break shortly, so he doesn't really have to worry about it right now. But later in the race, if he tries to do this again, he will have to start worrying about that leader catching him.
And we still have, 14 laps until the conclusion of Bell Helmets stage number 1. And that's very important. We want to thank Bell Helmets for all they do to provide safety, not just for the drivers, because they make an immaculate and well-built helmet that Luke Baldwin and others use in this series, but they also make safety equipment for the teams as well. So Bell Helmets, a proud supporter of the Smart Modified Tour. Here we go. Battle is for 3rd. Slate Myers gives it up, says, you know what? If you want to go Danny Bone and Ryan Newman, go run. I'm going to conserve my tires a little bit more. So Danny Bone in the Andretti prepared number 25 is now up to 3rd. Defending race winner here at Coastal Plains, Ryan Newman in 4th.
And we've seen the speed from Newman all night long. So it kind of looks like him and Bone are kind of just pacing themselves in that little group that they're in and letting the leaders run away with it and just wear their tires.
Maturity by Slate Myers to give up that spot. Outside of the front row, running in 2nd for a while, slips back to 3rd, now back to 5th. But he knows his crew chief is Jason Myers. Jason Myers has won races all over the South, both in tour-type modified competition and as well 42-time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium, coaching Slate saying, save your tires, save your tires. They're putting pressure on you. Don't challenge them. Jason Myers knows his stuff. That's his uncle. His dad, Bert Myers, a lot further back in the field, may be saving their time and their tires as well for the end of the race.
And I talked to Slate after Florence, and he talked about how he burnt that tire too quickly. So he's kind of learning from that mistake, and you can tell he has really matured a lot just in this season alone.
Yellow flag now out on the racetrack for the first time in this race. We'll get a clarification for this yellow here in just a moment, but yellow flag is out during the Cardinal 99.
I believe this is the end of the stage, Bob.
Okay. So end of the stage is what we're told, and we were not making a mistake up here in the booth. The scoreboard was showing 16 laps complete. That is the end of stage number 1. So at the end of this one, Karsten D. John Tommaso wins his first ever Bell Helmet stage number 1 in Smart Mod Tour competition. Second place in this stage. Good run for Joey Coulter going. He's second place in this stage, and Danny Bone in the 25 is third. Each one of those top 3 drivers at the end of this Bell Helmet Stage 1 gets a little extra cash, as well as some points that go towards the championship equation. That certainly pays dividends for Joey Coulter. Right now, Danny Bone and, of course, Karsten D. John Tommaso not in competition for a full-time competition here in the Smart Series.
Yeah, and we talked about in the opening of the show how Coulter was in that bubble spot, I guess you could say, fighting for that 5 spot. So now that he's got those extra points, it's going to put him in an even better spot clawing from 6th place.
Lots of stories going into this weekend, of course, eyeing in 4 races. Coming into this weekend, 4 races will go into the playoffs. So leaving this weekend, only 2 more. So the top 5 in points, very critical. The top 5 in points go to the championship. And we have some winds of change going through the series as well, with some driver changes in some of the famous rides. One of them, one of the most notable rides, the Shady Grady Racing number 15. In that car this week is not Bryce Bailey, who had run the races so far to this point of the season, but now is the veteran, Jeremy Gerstner. And it's like they're trying to party like it's 2018, because in 2018, both of those parties got together. Gerstner was in this ride, and they won back-to-back championships in the SMRS series, won a handful of races as well. So they had a lot of success together. Not today in qualifying. Something amiss underneath the hood. Some oil was put down on the racetrack that caused a big delay here, but they made the changes, got that car back out. He started at the tail end of the field and right now feeling out that 15 at this stage of the race. Jeremy Gerstner, one of the most likable guys here in terms of drivers in this series, and he loves coming here to the Smart Tour and running. Has not had that opportunity, but Gerstner outside the top 10 right now, but you never know what's going to happen at the end of this race.
Yeah, and so far, Gerstner has ran the second fastest lap of the race out of everybody so far, so that car does have the speed. He just had that mishap in qualifying, so he's got to work his way through this field methodically and not burn off that right rear. So it's going to be interesting to see him claw through the field.
I'm surprised you didn't say, so where did Bryce Bailey go? Well, Bryce Bailey out of Waverly, New York, a talented kid. Ran some dirt up there, ran some sport modifieds. He's been dabbling in some ROC modified stuff as well. But Bryce Bailey is still a full-time competitor. Right now outside of the top 10, because that Shady Grady Racing team that he had the wheel for the first half of this season has had a lot of difficulty, a lot of bad luck. But now Bailey's got another great opportunity behind the wheel of the number 17 machine. That is the PSR house car. And Bailey, we are being told, is going to run a couple of races, but they are eyeing him for the rest of the season as well. And he's already a 3-time pole sitter with Pace-O-Matic this year.
Yeah, Bailey is fast. It's just he hasn't been able to manufacture those finishes you'd want him to see. So maybe this new team is what he needs to now turn the season around a little bit.
By the way, Flow Racing always captures all the images, and you saw the CitraSafe Choose Cone, but we're going to show you a little bit because it's been fancied up a little bit since Johnny K actually drove it over in the Florence race earlier this year. Back to the green we go. Karsten John Tommaso spins the tires. Danny Bone on the outside because of that Choose Cone, trying to get into that second spot, but Joey Coulter fighting strong on the inside. Coulter gets the nod coming off of turn number 4. Now Ryan Newman filling the hole. Danny Bone caught on the outside. That inside groove right now, the fastest way around Coastal Plains Raceway. But Danny Bone, he's one tough customer trying to shut the door on Ryan Newman.
Yeah, I know we just restarted, Bob, but it's going to be interesting to see who really gets aggressive this early. Because, yeah, everybody's now packed back up together, but you still have to worry about that tire with so many laps to go.
Well, every driver was telling me, tire wear. We're worried about tire wear. We got to be careful. Danny Bone definitely punishing those outside tires a little bit. And a little wobble out of turn number 4 opened up the door for Ryan Newman. Newman now up to 3rd. Bone back to 4th. Jonathan Cash in 5th with Sleep Myers in 6th. But these drivers telling me it's almost as if you got to put an egg underneath the throttle to save that right rear tire. Remember, right now, these teams have not pitted yet, and they still have that one tire at their disposal sometime in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what the strategy is behind when they decide to pit to use that tire. Because that fresh tire, it's going to change the car's handling immediately, and you'll be able to fly through the field once you get it.
Speaking of changing the handling of the race car, there's a little bump going into turn number 1. We're going to keep our eye on the 33 of John Tommaso because he hit it last time, and that car got awfully sideways going in the corner. He misses it and kind of goes around it with the apex of his corner that time, but it really upset the handling on the leader of this race just 2 laps ago because he hit it. Sparks came out from underneath that race car, but he held on. Coulter now looking to the inside of John Tommaso out of New Jersey, and another little wiggle by the 33.
Yeah, you almost got to wonder if he pushed it too hard so early.
Battle side by side for the lead. Coulter trying to get the lead, and he does on lap number 37.
Newman dives to the inside now.
Newman trying to get to second with John Tommaso in the 33. He definitely punished his tires coming from 11th to the lead. We saw John Michael Chanette do that, lead a bunch of laps, but punished his tires and paid for it in the long run. Now that 33 backtracking a little bit, maybe trying to save his stuff until another caution comes out and he decides to pit. This time by, it'll be 40 laps complete in this race. Newman is up to second, trying to track down his pseudo teammate, Joey Coulter. Randy Renfro turning the wrenches for Ryan Newman, a winner in 2 of the past 4 races on the Smart Series. Can Newman go back-to-back with victories here at Coastal Plains tonight from last year to this?
Well, I mean, all night long, that car has looked extremely, extremely fast. And he's just kind of sitting in second right now, pacing himself with Coulter. And I mean, we've seen him and Coulter together all race long. So it's going to be an interesting battle when it comes to this pit stop to see who can get the edge on the other.
Let's take you through our top 10. We're not sure if that ticker is actually accurate right now because they are having some scoreboard issues and so forth here at Coastal Plains. As we cross the line, Joey Coulter leads Ryan Newman. 3rd is John Tommaso. 4th, Danny Bone. 5th, Jonathan Cash. Just outside that top 5. Slate Myers, Joey Braun in that 7th spot. And then it's Jake Crum in the number 99. Rounding out the top 10, Burt Myers has moved into the top 10. He sits 9th. And Paulie Hartwig the 3rd in 10th. 11th, the battle between the 7VA and Jeremy Gerstner with Jack Baldwin. The Baldwin boys now trying to move their way through the field, the 7VA and the 7NY.
Yeah, and it looks like their saving tire strategy in that first stage really did them well because they're kind of just stuck together right now, just pushing their way past everybody that might have pushed a little too hard in those first 30 laps.
Mastermind Tommy Baldwin working on maybe some strategy with his boys here today, but You know, it's funny, too, because they will run each other very hard as well. We saw last year at Riverhead where Luke hit Jack and kind of spun him out. Didn't mean to do it, but on a tight quarter mile, sometimes that happens. Right now, they're trying to be very patient behind the wheel. All single file racing throughout the top 10 at this juncture of the race.
Newman has closed the gap to right to the back bumper of Joey Coulter.
And Coulter, a little bit of change underneath the hood for him, and it has certainly paid off. A second place finish in the most recent race back in July at Caraway Speedway. And by the way, we go to Caraway next week, next Saturday night. If you're around the Asheboro, North Carolina area, if you're the state of North Carolina, which has some unbelievable racing, you need to go to Caraway to see the Smart Modifieds in action for 99 laps next week at that beautiful facility. And by the way, I just saw Randy Myers here. They said they're putting more concrete down along pit road and in the corners to help accommodate the teams to have just a nicer area to work on their race cars. We're just observing, probably like you at home right now, what's going on at this racetrack. I want to mention Max Hanley is in the show here today. He's the last car in this line of cars that string all over the racetrack. Max runs the number 45. The battle for the lead starting to heat up just a little bit. Newman all over inside and out of Joey Coulter.
Yeah, it looks like Newman saved the tires really, really well compared to Coulter. He's rolling through the middle a little better on both sides of the track, and that's what is allowing him to stay right on that back bumper.
Just went by the Dominion Energy halfway point in this race. It belonged to Joey Coulter, but how long will he have the lead? Because Newman is there. Newman looks to the inside. Newman going for the lead here in the Cardinal 99. Newman to the lead at Coastal Plains.
It almost looked like Coulter just kind of gave it to him, didn't want to fight him too much and keep the tires on the car. So a savvy move by Coulter, and now let's see how hard Newman pushes this car.
And that's the big question right now. Will we even get a caution to take a tire at some point in this race? This race could go green the rest of the way, and that tire that everybody has at their disposal might go for naught. You never know the strategy, and Ryan Newman has won one of those races a couple of years ago at Tri-County Speedway in Granite Falls, North Carolina. Burt Myers, by the way, having trouble with his race car and that Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners machine with Pinnacle Financial on it as well. He has slipped outside the top 10 right now.
The Baldwin boys almost look like they're hooked up like a train right now.
And as we see some changes inside the top 5 as well, Jonathan Cash in that black and yellow number 16, that Pace-O-Matic car, having his best run of the season, just moved by Karsten DeJohn Tomaso. So now Jay Cash up to 4th.
Yeah, he's looked good all day long, so it's good to see Jonathan Cash finally get that run after having such a rough season.
I want to talk a little bit, while we don't have much side-by-side racing, about Slate Myers as well. And as I say that, right behind Slate Myers, Joey Braun, maybe the Hanley going away, the tires going away on that Hillbilly Racing ride. He kind of slipped up the racetrack, and that allowed Jake Crum to get by. And now a pair of orange cars going at it just inside the top 10 with some pressure from behind from the Baldwin boys. Here comes Paulie Hartwig to the inside of Braun.
Yeah, and Braun struggled a little bit at Florence earlier this year, as now Luke gets by Braun and Jack is on his way past Braun.
So just like that in 2 laps, Braun goes from 7th to 11th where he sits right now. The Baldwin boys back in the top 10. Up front, a little bit of a lead forming for Ryan Newman. About 10 car lengths. Another 10 car lengths behind is Danny Bone. And then Jonathan Cash starting to close in on 3rd place running Danny Bone. You gotta think the Baldwin boys just hoping for a caution. Or maybe since they saved the tires, hoping everybody up front runs out of tire.
Gerstner just spun around out of 2.
Oh, Jeremy Gerstner in the 15 goes around off of turn number 2 to bring out the caution. And now all that talk about going green the rest of the way goes right out the window.
You almost talked the caution into existence for the Baldwin boys.
What a bad break for Jeremy Gerstner as well. Driver on the number 15 here, reuniting with a team that he ran for just under a decade ago and had so much success with. We're looking forward to seeing what that team can do tomorrow at Carteret County Speedway over in Swansboro, North Carolina. By the way, I checked the elevation of Carteret County Speedway. It's 7 feet above sea level. So very close to the ocean. And this is a weekend that if you really want a fun family weekend and you want to see some good modified action, come out to the beach weekend next year with the Smart Modified Tour. This year we race Friday night here at Coastal Plains, tomorrow at Carteret County, but you can also make a vacation out of it. And a lot of people, a lot of these teams do, and they go to the beach on Sundays. And we're looking forward to seeing those swim shorts of yours with the palm trees on them.
Oh, I got a great outfit for you. Don't you worry, Bob. But yeah, I'm definitely super excited about Carteret County tomorrow. That's my home track, technically, and I have spent many of weekends there as a fan, so it's going to be fun being able to work it a little bit and see these mods rip around that super flat track.
And what's really neat about Carteret is they have a wonderful restaurant on the infield of that racetrack as well. So pit's not open just yet. We're awaiting to see if it's next time by, because I believe you're going to see a bunch of people come down pit road and take on that coveted right rear tire. We're going to watch exactly what our wireless camera does. Gerstner, though, still trapped on the inside of the racetrack, trying to pull out of there. Maybe needs a little help as well. You can see the teams going around, and this is the CitraSafe Grill Cleaners Carolina Drilling drone coverage. Thank you to everybody, Tommy Lancaster and the bunch, for all they do. Listen, CitraSafe Grill Cleaner, the best grill cleaner on the market. I use it on my grills. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and a whole lot more. It is non-toxic, biodegradable grill cleaner, and it is wonderful. They even have scouring pads that you can pick up. Spray that grill cleaner on your grill, clean it off, and fire it up, and cook some burgers and dogs. Here comes everybody down pit road right now. Everybody's still on the lead lap during this Cardinal 99. We're past the halfway point, but drivers have been screaming probably that their cars are ill handling. They need tires. Well, you got the caution, and now they can take that right rear tire. There is Ryan Newman. Newman changing his tires. And remember, if you see them working on the other side of the race car, they can take tires to get the desired stagger and swap spots, but they only have one new tire they can put on the race car. Newman, Joey Braun, Karsten D. John Tommaso, Max Handley in the 45. His brother Jack ran well at Caraway Speedway back in July. Now Max taking over the reins of that car. We are told by that team that they're planning a full-time assault at the Smart Modified Tour next year. 73 of Paulie Hartwig, Johnny K. Good qualifying effort for him. And then there is Luke Baldwin, and there's a pair of the SNS Racing rides. I want to give a shout-out to Bill Stanley. I'm sure Senator is watching. And if you're watching here tonight, we miss you. You got to come back out. We'll be coming to you shortly because we got Dominion Raceway coming up in the middle of September. And I know Bill loves when we come to Virginia. Jonathan Cash having a good run as well. He needs one. He has really struggled over the course of the season. Just a roller coaster season for him. There is Luke Baldwin getting a little pushed by his team. We'll see if they get that car fired. Everybody's starting to make their way off of pit road right now. Jake Crum pulls off pit road. Jack Baldwin still servicing Burt Meyer's car. I'm sure plenty of changes going on at that beautifully prepared SAG wraps machine. It's got palm trees on the side. Very colorful machine for Burt Meyers. He's always had some colorful cars. We've seen some orange, some pink, this and that. And now we're seeing a tropical look for Burt Meyers. But now all the teams settling in, changed that right rear tire, and now they're ready for battle for the remainder of this race. And this is kind of the perfect time. If you had to pick a time for all these teams to say, hey, I want a certain caution period to change a tire. And by the way, Ryan Newman, one of the last cars off of pit road, and we know how strong he's been at the latter part of this first part of the race. But, we're at lap number 63 right now. So still 36 laps to go in this race. You like that math right there?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Ryan Newman controlling this race for the second straight year. He didn't take the lead last year until 16 laps to go in the race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're almost going to run like a stage one type of sprint almost, just a couple extra laps. And we saw how that played out with how all the cars separated. But right now, I don't expect any separation. It's time to go and put your car on the line to win this race.
But think about it. In 33 laps, you can wear out your tires. So you got to go, but at the same time, you can't go too much.
It's like a conservatively go.
Patiently aggressive.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a great word.
Absolutely. Or term, right? So we're getting ready. We're going to be putting out that CitraSafe Choose Cone in just a second here as our CitraSafe Carolina Drilling drone gets into position. Chris Honeycutt is the connoisseur of the cone for the Smart Tour, and he's getting ready to put that one out, I think, next time by. Not this time, but possibly next time by, as they need to get Ryan Newman to the top of the field because this is a controlled caution. Everybody that came down pit road, they had a certain amount of laps to get their work done. Everybody completed it in time, so everybody is awarded the position that they were running prior to the caution coming out.
I'm interested to see how aggressive Dijon Tommaso is on this restart.
He has been aggressive, for sure. Very aggressive.
We saw him go from 11th to the lead in that first stage, so he has the speed in the car. It's just a matter of fact that can he keep that tire on it?
And I want you to look as we come over to turn 4. The CitraSafe Grill Cleaners Choose Cone is out, and it's got some special lights on it, especially as we get to twilight hours here in the eastern part of North Carolina. Drivers can't miss that one, and we say that, and of course Johnny K hit the cone, and it had some lights on it back in the daytime hours at Florence Speedway earlier this year, but a beautiful effort by CitraSafe, and not a refab cone, a brand new cone for the CitraSafe Choose Cone with the Smart Tour. You got to try CitraSafe, I'm telling you. Best grill cleaner on the market by far. So we got to get old Will. He's a college student. He's probably broke, so we got to get him some for sure.
Hey, I got a Blackstone.
That's right. Blackstone. Awesome. I love that as well. All right, here we go. Pace truck is pulling into the infield. Ryan Newman and Danny Bone on the front row for this one. Nice and slow to the Pace-O-Matic restart zone. Newman back to the front. Here comes Bone, says, wait, I'm going to try to get to the outside, and he couldn't do it. Battle, best one for third and fourth, some contact from Jonathan Cash. And now, Paulie Hartwig and Slate Myers trapped up in between turns 3 and 4 to bring out the caution. What a bad break for both of those drivers who are having a heck of a run here today.
Yeah, it looked like a domino effect just heading in through 3 and 4, and then everybody stacked up, and that's what caused the two cars to spin.
Initially, it was Jonathan Cash getting into the 0-2. That backed everybody up, and then it was an accordion effect after that.
Hartwig is kind of stuck in the middle of 3 and 4 right now as the cars go by, but it looks like he finally will have a gap to get that thing turned around. 2
straight difficult races for that teenager. Paulie Hartwig has warmed up and really garnered a lot of attention in the Smart Modified Tour this year. But at Caraway, finish outside the top 20, hurt him a little bit. He was second in points, now third in points. Will tonight be another difficult outing for him? And we talked about the point situation being very difficult. We'll talk about that in just a second here as we're trying to see if we have a replay of what happened, and we do. Let's roll it down here to see going down the backstretch on this Flow Racing replay. Watch the yellow and black car. Gets into the back of the 0-2, and it was really because the 0-2 checked up because Danny Bone entered the corner a little bit quieter, a little bit more calm than usual. We'll take a look at it one more time. because you saw what happened after that. We were looking at the initial contact right down there in turns 3 and 4, but then after that, a lot of chaos ensued. And I believe it was a pair of white cars, Jack Baldwin, and then there you see Slate Myers getting into the back of Paulie Hartwig. So just a tough accordion effect right there with everybody checking up and some a little bit quicker than others.
The good thing is it looks like a mostly harmless spin for both of them, so they should be able to continue in the race. Because we know with these open wheels, sometimes those spins, you can knock a toe link out or something like that, and your race could pretty much be over. So it's a good sign that they could possibly both continue this race.
But at the same time, they were in that top 10 zone, and you want to finish there, especially for a guy like Paulie Hartwig, who came in 3rd in the point standings. Hartwig trying to be in that top 5 with now, before the weekend, 4 races to go until you get to the playoffs. 5 drivers, the top 5 in points, will qualify for the playoffs. Well, the gap there from 3rd on back is awfully interesting.
Yeah, and the thing that Hartwig probably doesn't like to see right now is that Jake Crum is inside the top 10 as they actively run. And that's the guy that was 3 points behind him coming into this race. So, but with things running right now, Jake Crum would be in that 3rd spot. And then he falls into the clutches of both Braun and Coulter. And Coulter's is 2nd in the race right now. So it's going to be a great day for Coulter if he can manage to finish in that still top area. Looks like they got the toe strap hooked up to Hartwig, trying to pull him off that inside wall.
Big shout out to Steve Zacharias for stepping up with Coastal Plains, because just a few months ago, they announced that they were kind of closing down a lot of the racing operations here. And Steve said, you know what? And he runs Florence Motor Speedway in South Carolina, also on the coast of that state. And he said, I'll step in and I'll take care of this smart race, looking to do other races here as well. Another gentleman's working on some of the more local programs that they'll run here. But Steve Zacharias, who is down at Florence tonight because they have the big late model stock car race there, but also his staff operating this racetrack up here, a big thank you to Steve, because he is from one of those racing families from upstate New York back in the day, and they have a passion for racing like no other. So right now, he is really helping coastal racing in both the states of North Carolina and South Carolina.
And I bet he has a huge smile on his face right now, because both his tracks that he has are getting used to perfection right now. You have the Cars Tour in Florence, you have the Smart Mods here. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better Friday night.
And remember, if you're watching this race tonight, and maybe you're along the coast in Virginia, a few hours inland, maybe you're in South Carolina watching, the late model stock car race at Florence, come out to North Carolina along the coast, the Crystal Coast. Tomorrow, just down the block from Emerald Isle, sits Carteret County Speedway in Swansboro, North Carolina. This is a doubleheader weekend. Tonight we're at Coastal Plains. Tomorrow night at Carteret County Speedway. We hope to see you out there, and that is a phenomenal racetrack. If you buy a pit pass, you can walk over the racetrack as the cars are running. They have a bridge that crosses the racetrack into the center of the racetrack. There's a restaurant in there, and you can see some good old-fashioned modified racing with a smart modified tour.
And they don't call Carteret County Speedway the nicest short track in America for a reason.
It is beautiful. Both of these facilities
absolutely
are gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so nice to be back here after kind of midway this year, not knowing if we were going to come here. So the fact that we're at Coastal Plains just makes it feel so much more like a good old smart modified beach tour weekend.
And we're seeing a little bit of the same thing that we saw last year. Ryan Newman in the lead as we come back to the restart with the smart modified tour in the Cardinal 99. Nice slow pace. Green flag is out. The Rocket Man heads into turn number 1 and grabs the lead. Still plenty of race left in this one. Danny Bones second, Joey Coulter back to third. Karsten John Tommaso on the outside motors his way into fourth, but Jonathan Cash not giving up. Jack Baldwin now in the fray as well. Baldwin trying to get into the top 5. Good race from fourth on back. Side by side for 3 straight rows. A pair of Baldwins are involved there. Cash gets up to fourth. Now John Tommaso might be losing 5th to Jake Crum. Crum having a good run inside the top 5 now as he inches out ahead of that 33.
Yeah, and behind Crum you have both the Baldwin boys, but luckily he's able to find that gap and drop down so that he's not going to keep just leading positions.
Baldwin, Jack that is, now going after DeJohn Tomaso. Gives him a little wrap on the back bumper down in 3 and 4. Joey Braun is right there in the top 10 as well, behind Jack Baldwin. Jake Crum has 5th. DeJohn Tomaso dives on the inside, makes a little contact with the 99 down in 3, but Crum able to fend him off. Crum is an aggressive racer as well, but that was an aggressive move by DeJohn Tomaso to get back to 5th.
And then a little farther back, Bryce Bailey just dive-bombed Luke Baldwin and was able to get around him through 1 and 2, and now sets his sight on Joey Braun.
It's a big surprise to me, unless Luke Baldwin is still saving his stuff, to see that car outside the top 10 right now. Just not the performance that we expected, unless he's saving stuff for the end of this race. But we're starting to click off laps, just 29 laps to go in this one.
And the later and later we get into this race, the more aggressive of dive bombs into the corners that I'm seeing.
Speaking of dive bombs, a little bit of an inside maneuver for a battle for second. Coulter is there to the inside of Danny Bone. Danny Bone was running second. Coulter had the lead early, and the caution comes out. Trying to see what the caution is here at Coastal Plains. 70 laps into this race. Chris, what's the caution for? '48 car of Johnny K had his driver's door facing oncoming traffic, spun that car, and then was able to save it, but that's the reason for the caution. So, wow, that was getting interesting. Joey Coulter, not the timing of the caution that he wanted, because it looked like he was going to pick off second from Danny Bone.
Yeah, he was charging hard. Just the caution came out a little too early for him, and he couldn't get around Bone. So now he's going to have to start probably behind Newman. I'm assuming Bone takes the outside. And so it's going to be kind of similar to what we just saw last restart with the same top 4.
By the way, do you know what Jacksonville, North Carolina was named after, because that's where this racetrack sits?
I do not.
Named after President Andrew Jackson. Back when it was founded in the day, Andrew Jackson spent a bunch of time here, and therefore they named Jacksonville after President Andrew Jackson. You like nuggets of history?
Yeah, that's actually a really fun fact. I did not know that at all.
Camp Lejeune, close here as well. Very big area. We talk about the beaches all the time, but if you look at the attractions here in Jacksonville, and we like to brag about the areas that we go to. And if you look at this, 3 downtown parks on a river, a lot of fun. The Watlands Ferry, and New River flows through Jacksonville as well. Is that the same New River that flows in and around Boone, North Carolina, where you go to school at App State?
That'd be crazy if it was. But
hey, it's got to flow somewhere.
It does. That's true.
We need to look that up, because we have a new river in the high country of North Carolina and western North Carolina. We need to see if that's the same new river or not.
That would be very crazy if it does connect like that.
You need to look that up. I think you should do that right now. We're gonna find out the answer to that trivia here tonight on Flow Racing. I believe we're gonna get the 1 to go this time by. No, maybe get the 1 to go and the CitraSafe Choose Cone. And now you can really see the lights on top of the CitraSafe Choose Cone here at Coastal Plains, brightly shining. Ryan Newman, of course, will pick the inside. I don't think there's any surprise there. Danny Bone, no surprise as well. That guy has got some guts. He's on the outside, and he's going for it. Not running for points this year, the driver of the Alpine Partners, BKA Partners, number 25 machine. Want to say a big shout out to Tom Dancer as well. He's been helping his New Jersey buddy, Danny Bone. And remember when Tom Dancer around the Wall Stadium area back in the day when I was a lot younger, watching him and his cars and so forth around that racetrack. So, Tom, a big shout out to you.
So, according to my quick search I did, the new rivers do not connect.
Okay. Bummer. You probably used AI for that too, right?
I just, whatever popped up when I searched it.
It's Google AI or whatever they call it. But AI is certainly sweeping the world right now. No AI here tonight. These drivers have a brain and plenty of muscle wheeling these cars around. We are back to green. Newman inching out in front. Bone has got a tire there on the Nerf bar, but falls in line to second. Coulter trying to get to the inside, can't get it done. John Tommaso, look at the hard-charging driver on the outside going around Joey Coulter, trying to get to third.
He's doing it the same way he did it in the first stage by passing everybody around that outside. Will the car stick, and will he have enough tire to last the race?
Usually you say that's the hard way around, but this track's so wide and so speedy. But right now he's got to get his apex perfect. Otherwise, he's going to give up a spot to Jonathan Cash, and it looks like he might here. The 16 on the inside of the 33.
And he has to be careful because Jake Crum is sitting there lurking right behind him too, so if he can't get down, but he does, so he will maintain that position.
Newman is first, Bone second, Coulter third. Jonathan Cash, best run of the year in fourth. John Tommaso is fifth. Sixth place, Jake Crum seventh, Jack Baldwin. Luke Baldwin goes way up the racetrack. Problems with that Pace-O-Matic 7 VA. He is indeed the final 5 cars on the racetrack.
And Jake Crum dives it into 3 on John Tommaso.
Let's think about this. Baldwin, Luke not having a good showing. Ryan Newman in the lead. Here comes Joey Coulter. He wants a shot at Newman. He goes to the inside of Danny Bone for second. Coulter to second. Jonathan Cash trying to come with him.
Yeah, like you were talking about with Luke Baldwin not having a great race and Newman leading right now, this could change the number 1 and 2 in the point standings right now.
Jonathan Cash moves his way into third, moving Danny Bone back to fourth. Fifth is now Jake Crum, having gotten by the 33 of John Tommaso. Now a little bit of quiet, and as I say that, here comes John Tommaso to the inside of Jake Crum. Those two have been waging war here at this 0.4 of a mile racetrack.
Watch out for Jack Baldwin, though. He's looked 3 wide coming out of 4, and Jack has a really fast car as he is now inside of Crum.
20 to go, 19 to go. Next time by the line for Ryan Newman, but Baldwin trying to move up through the field. Good strategy for him, but maybe, just maybe, he saved too much because he's having trouble coming through this field right now.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting as he dives down on Crum again. Gets it just in the inside, but can't make it stick.
That's a battle for 6 between the 99 and the 7. Just a little bit behind that, a battle to get in the top 10. How about Jeremy Gerstner now in the top 10 with that red and white number 15 machine? What a bounce back after some fluid leak from that car during qualifying.
Yeah, and he spun earlier in the race, and now he's worked his way all the way back up. So that's great, just hardcore, just grinding out the race.
Every car on the racetrack on the lead lap. Now a little separation starting between the top 5. About 3 car lengths back from first to second, the equal distance back to third, and then a little bit bigger of a gap back to fourth, and then a huge difference from fourth place running Danny Bone to cars to John Tommaso.
And Joey Coulter starting to claw into that Newman lead, gaining a couple hundredths of a second per lap.
Newman is a tough racer. Newman, anybody will tell you, one of the toughest cars to pass when everything is on the line at the end of the race. They are friends. They are pseudo teammates from a Coulter Motorsport situation. How wide will Ryan Newman's car get if he needs to win this race?
I mean, as it sits, Newman's the only multi-race winner in the series, and
this year,
yeah. And Coulter is trying to make that or put that to an end and get his first win of the season, while Newman's sitting here trying to get his now 3rd of the season. And they're running about the same lap time every single lap. So I wonder if Newman is kind of just pacing himself and staying with Coulter, but not letting him get close enough to move it. And the other person we got to watch out for is Jonathan Cash, because Jonathan Cash is kind of sticking to Coulter's back bumper like glue right now. And if Coulter slips up, then that opens the door for Cash.
Top 3 very close at this stage of the game. 10 laps to go now in this race. It's a 3-horse race between Newman, Coulter, and Cash. This could be just what the doctor ordered for the season for Jonathan Cash. We've seen him be aggressive when everything is on the line. Was top 3 last year. Carteret got into his own teammate, and the caution comes out. Luke Baldwin, the defending series champion and point leader, goes around in turn number 4.
Yeah, it's been a really, really rough day for Luke, but that's going to help Jonathan Cash a lot because Jonathan Cash was gaining on both the leaders that whole entire run. So maybe it hurt one teammate, but the other one is now in prime position to try to win this race.
So Luke Baldwin, his day goes from bad to worse. This will make the point standings very interesting going into tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night. We'll be about 40 minutes up the road, or I should say over on the road, right? Because we go closer to the coast of North Carolina at Carteret County Speedway for the Carteret Clash.
Yeah, now with 10 to go, Bob, this is going to make this next restart very aggressive because I'm expecting all take, no give for these last 10 laps.
The Cardinal 99 on the line, and where is everybody going to choose when the CitraSafe Choose cone goes out too? Is Jonathan Cash saying, hey, I'm going to the outside? I believe you'll see Joey Coulter, stay to the inside and follow Ryan Newman. That's my prediction here. We'll see if it comes true, but I think you're going to see Jonathan Cash go to the outside and go after that victory.
I could see that definitely happening because Bone has started on the outside those last 3 restarts, and now he finds himself in 4th after getting shuffled back a little bit because he couldn't get that grip he needed around the outside. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coulter picks the inside.
I think we're seeing the calm before the storm on a clear sky night here in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
You really couldn't ask for a more beautiful day for racing.
One of the greatest things that I think that Flow Racing has developed over the course of the last, couple of months is the double box. I don't know what they call it, but it's an opportunity where you can watch 2 different races at once. And tonight, hopefully a lot of you have the conclusion of this Cardinal 99 for the Smart Mods side by side with the late model stock cars and Dale Jr. down at Florence, South Carolina. Both of the tracks being operated by one gentleman, Steve Zacharias, and what a night to be had on a Friday night. You have Friday night lights in football, you got Friday night lights in racing as well.
Yeah, and like you said, this is going to make for an extremely, extremely exciting finish. And we really have no clue what can happen right now. It's really just a coin flip at this point.
And you have your App State hat on. I have my App State shirt. The App State Mountaineers playing UNCC down in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. And App State up by a score of 7-3. By the way, I know everybody here, this is kind of ECU territory around here. Am I correct by saying that?
UNC
Wilmington,
but
yeah.
I mean, they don't have a football team.
Right.
So.
And last night, if I'm right, I turned the game off at halftime, but NC State beat
by
ECU?
24-17,
yeah, okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, they were up by a lot before halftime, and unfortunately for everybody in this area, the Pirates lost. NC State picked up the victory, and tonight, App State going at it in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. Luke Baldwin on pit road. Baldwin brought the caution out. Joey Braun on pit road as well in that 79 machine, so a couple of the drivers stopping to make some adjustments. They were a little bit further back in the action than they would have liked. Of course, Baldwin brought out the caution.
And it might not hurt them stopping here, too, because not only can they adjust the car, but if an accident happens in front of them, they have a better chance of staying out of it, and then they can pick up a couple positions from that.
Baldwin needed to do something. He's had a horrific night here after qualifying in this race. I'm interested to talk to him and that team to see if they were trying to save stuff and then just got caught up with whether it was bad stagger or something on that race car. But that car has not been like we expect it to be each and every race because he's been phenomenal this year. More top 5 finishes for that 7VA than any other driver in the series so far.
And the good thing is with this bad race, they can have a really short memory and flip it around, and 24 hours from now, they'll be racing again. So it's going to help that team.
By the way, I was right. Exactly as we predicted at the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners Choose Cone. Newman, of course, stays to the bottom. So does Coulter. But Jonathan Cash jumps to the outside of row number 1 for this restart.
Yeah, it's going to make for an interesting restart. We'll see how aggressive Cash is.
He's going to be aggressive.
We've seen a couple restarts this year get called back and redone with the outside driver jumping multiple times. So we'll see if they can get a clean restart 1, and then we'll see how good Cash is around that outside.
Dijon Tomaso, who's been running the outside, is on the inside of row number 3 for this restart. This one could be wild and woolly. The most important restart of the night for Jonathan Cash on the outside of the front row. They both fire. Ryan Newman edges him going into turn number 1. Newman with the lead, but Jay Cash, really good run on the outside. He's got a lap or 2 on that right rear tire to try to get his car to the front. And trouble for Dijon Tomaso, a big stack up, but everybody continues in turn number 4.
Yeah, for Jonathan Cash.
Ooh, little hit to the back bumper of Ryan Newman from Jay Cash. Jonathan Cash is hungry.
And picking that outside lane has jumped him a position on Coulter and put him in that position to where if it's that last lap, he can bump and run Newman.
Jack Baldwin up to 5th now. So the strategy for Jack Baldwin paying off here. Slow as molasses in the first part of the race, but that was to save his tires. By the way, side by side, Dijon Tomaso and Bryce Bailey in a new ride, that black 17, trying to work his way closer to the top 5. That right now is a battle for 7th. With 8th right now, Bryce Bailey. Dijon Tomaso, that car is wicked loose. Oh, he's holding on to it. Wow. It's going to be just a matter of time for Bailey to move by. He's in the top 10, first time in that race car. He's got another race tomorrow night. Here comes Burt Myers as well. And that bright number 1 car. Battle for the lead, though. Here comes Jonathan Cash on the inside of Ryan Newman. Cash trying to get it. Ryan Newman keeping the momentum up. Ryan Newman is one tough customer, but Jonathan Cash edging out front here. Jonathan Cash going for it. Just 3 laps to go in this race. Jonathan Cash to the lead in the Cardinal 99. Newman not done. Newman says, I'm going to get to your back bumper, give you a little tap, maybe move you up the racetrack. Can't get it done. Loses some ground. Joey Coulter now on the attack. This is exactly what Jonathan Cash wanted to see. 1 lap to go in the Cardinal 99. Coulter going for 2nd. Newman on the outside. Newman having a great run here today, but loses the lead. Jonathan Cash does it. He is a winner on the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. He gets the job done for the first time in his career right here at Coastal Plains Raceway.
And that was just a surgical restart by Jonathan Cash. Was able to keep 2nd place on that restart and then just kind of got underneath Newman because Newman looked a little loose. And then next thing you know, Jonathan Cash is in the position to win the race. Jonathan Cash pulls into the front straightaway. Coulter and Newman stop. Cash is going to whip around and grab the flag. Do a little wave to all the fans standing on the front stretch. What a great drive by Jonathan Cash. Just saves his tires perfectly all race, and then when it's time to strike, he just bites Newman and wins this race. Cash is currently going around the track doing the Polish victory lap, saluting all the fans. And Coulter and Newman are parked on the front stretch. Coulter comes away with his second place finish in a row. Here comes Jonathan Cash, gonna be coming to victory lane. The top of unofficial top 5, Jonathan Cash, Joey Coulter, Ryan Newman, Danny Bone, and Jack Baldwin. But we're going to throw it down to Bob Dillner on the track to interview Jonathan Cash.
This one is going to be emotional here today for Jonathan Cash. Finally getting the job done on the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Joey Coulter coming over, congratulating Jonathan Cash on the victory. And you can see the emotion starting to build up inside the cockpit of that race car.
What's not working?
Happy smile, some tears of joy in Pace-O-Matic victory lane.
There you go. This thing on? Or not?
J Cash is money in the Cardinal 99. Jonathan Cash, first win of his career in the Smart Modified Tour. Jonathan Cash, congratulations from the team. Hugs all around. Jonathan Cash, you've been waiting for this for a long, long time. Let's face the crowd here. How does it feel?
It's pretty awesome. Beat Ryan Newman, with 5 or 6 to go. I think he's probably one of the best that's ever hold a steering wheel. And to be able to pass him, it's just awesome. I mean, that's somebody you look up to when you're a kid, right? I know me and him ain't that far apart, but he was a lot further ahead than I was. It's been really rough last couple months. This right here just does it all. I can't thank Hermie Saller, Pace-O-Matic, the Senator Stanley. Man, they could have gave up on me. We haven't had a good year at all. It's been terrible, honestly. And it's just, not necessarily from just bad luck, really. And but the guys at PSR, man, they fight every week. Phil, I can't thank him. Dylan, my crew chief, he told me don't give up on him. I told him don't give up on me, and here we are. John Goss. I'm going to say Albert. Albert ain't here. He always looks sad in pictures after we didn't win, so I wish he was here to smile. Just everybody here, Scott, Neil, even Luke. I mean, Luke helps us a ton. He shook this car down for me. It's just kind of a dream come true that when I first done this deal, we ran really good, and then we went really bad. So to finally get one it doesn't feel real right now.
You mentioned that move on Ryan Newman, sitting second to him with just a couple of laps to go. How calculated was that, or was it like, hey, let's go for this?
Well, I knew I had a car to win according to the lap times, but also, on Sundays you hear Ryan Newman's the hardest person to pass, right? So I will say I gave him some shots, and he didn't. I mean, he didn't let me have it, but he got it. He kind of moved up. He didn't, door me and do stuff, just stupid stuff, which I wasn't either. Second at that time was a lot better than a Hort race car. So, man, it's just awesome. 1 year ago I finished second and kind of something that I felt bad about. Now I get this win and I can feel good about it.
How big of the celebration is going to be tonight? Your daughter's here, your family's here, your team's here. What's this really going to feel like tonight?
I don't know. I know Butterbean always goes to the Waffle House, and I don't know if we got Waffle Houses down here or not, but we'll find something.
Absolutely. Jonathan Cash, the winner in the PSR car for Sadler Stanley Racing in the Cardinal 99. Bryce Bailey, a congratulatory. Actually, we're going to get this guy over here. Hermie Sadler, he always tries to shy away from the camera. I didn't even know you were here today, but you and Jonathan Cash have been buddies for a long, long time. We heard what it means to him to win. How about you as the car owner?
Well, I want to say hi to Bill Stanley, too, who's watching at home. But, when people tell you can't do something, it makes it more rewarding when you do. And Jonathan and I have, and Phil Stefanelli and the whole PSR team, we've been down, but we hadn't been out. And Luke's been great for us for 2 years, and he's continued to carry the banner for us. And I've always said if we're a two-car team, we need both our cars to be able to win. And as Jonathan said, there were many nights that we wondered, are we doing the right thing? Because we have a relationship in our karting side of our lives too. But we stuck it out. He stuck it out. His team, Dylan, everybody believed. And tonight things fell into place. And I'm really, really happy for Jonathan because he deserves it.
How big do you think the Senator is celebrating right now?
He celebrates a lot all the time because he's a winner. You know, when me and Bill Stanley had this talk a couple weeks ago, talking about our drivers and our team, and I had pressure. I'll be honest with you, pressure on me to get both of our cars to victory lane. And Bill said it because we are winners and we are a winning team. And if we're going to prove that, both of our cars have to win. And tonight, Jonathan got our second car to victory lane, and I'm just really proud of the whole group. And thanks to the fans for coming out tonight. What a beautiful night for racing, and we're very fortunate tonight. And a big congratulations to everybody that had a hand in it. And also I want to mention the people at Roush Yates Engines. They came on board and really helped us, really did a good job. So thank you. We're winners tonight, and we couldn't be prouder.
Nice to see that big smile. I know Bill Stanley's got the smile on his face as well. Second place in this race is Joey Coulter. Joey, good in practice, good in qualifying. Second straight runner-up finish, bud.
Yeah, it's good to be a little bit disappointed in second. Like I think that restart for us where we could have chose top or bottom, that was the big decision. But I think we made the right choice staying on the bottom. The Newman, the 2 was really good, and Cash was obviously really, really good. So I think we made the best choice. We just got a little bit free on that longer run there at the end. But man, the guys have done such a good job before we went to Caraway, then this break since Caraway. They've put so much hours in at the shop, and Harold fine-tuning this thing, and from everything, our tire program, suspension stuff, engine programs, just everything has really stepped up, and I've managed to learn a little bit, I think, and it's gone really well. So hats off to those guys: Bilstein Shocks, SRI, PFC Brakes, Simpson, Stilo, Molecule. Wife's back home watching, and congratulations to my mother-in-law. She just finished up her last treatment for all of her immunotherapy stuff for the breast cancer. So she's done with that, which is awesome. So good night tonight. We'll carry it on to tomorrow.
We've said many prayers for her for the last year or so that's great news. One spot better tomorrow night. What do you think?
I think we got a good shot. First time we went to Carteret, we were pretty good. So this package we brought here, I think we can take a lot of the same things over to Carteret tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens. That's a wild place.
Wild place indeed. Tomorrow night at Carteret County Speedway, the Carteret Clash. Ryan Newman finished third in this race. And a great run for that Coulter Motorsports team. Great run for S&S Racing with Jonathan Cash getting the victory here. We still have plenty of racing to come up here tonight, but we still have some great racing in South Carolina, along the coast as well. We hope you're tuning in to a great late model stock car event with Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Florence Motor Speedway.